Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to today's session, e-learning online classes on design of steel structures. So, I think today is the 11th day of our online class. So, today we are going to discuss on problem on laced column. So, as the request from many students, so they asked us to, they asked me to solve a problem on laced column. So today we are going to do that, right? So along with this, we will discuss about a battened column, and we will discuss the design of splicers as well. Okay, right. So good morning, students. Good morning, Manidip. Good morning, Gautam. Good morning, Praveen. So Praveen is also in online. Good morning, guys. Sharon, good morning. Praveen, good morning. Come on, come fast, guys. So I was 3 minutes before today. So because we have to do a lot of things today. Okay. So this is the problem which we are going to solve. For the today's class on design of laced column. So let everyone come. So before that, just I want to put a small question in front of you guys. Good morning, Praval. Good morning, Navya. Let others also join. So anyway, time is 10:30. So we will wait till 10:35. Okay. Before that, I request guys. So please try to answer this question. Okay. This picture. Can you see this? Can you see this picture? All of you. Yeah. See, what do you think the reason for this failure? See, yesterday I have seen this picture in Facebook. See, so they asked us to, answer this question. What is the reason for this failure? So what do you think the reason behind this failure? What do you think the reason behind this failure? So please try to answer this. We'll have 2-3 minutes discussion on this. Okay. So it's all based on our perspective, right? So for example, we allotted you as an site investigator, right? So how you are going to investigate this? See, there is no structural collapse, right? So there is no, damage in the structure by looking at this image, right? But there may be the internal failure in the member. But what do you think the reason for this failure? So here the structure was laid on the other building. See, you can see the structure which was laid on the other building. So what do you think? So please answer, guys. I request all of you, so please go through this and tell me the answer. Tell me your opinion on this. What is your opinion on this? What might cause this kind of failure? Good morning, Sudhir. How are you, Sudhir? Good morning, Srinivas Rajinish. Good morning, Narendra Kumar. How are you? Good morning, Pooja. See, guys, no one answering. Good morning, Kasumuru, Kalpana. So what might be the reason for this failure? Just I want your opinion, guys. Even I will tell you the comments which was made for this failure in the yesterday's page. So many people commented just like that without having the technical knowledge on this. So they said that both fell in love. So that is the reason why both structures got contact each other. So jokes apart, so coming to the technical point of view, see, many people commented on this image like there is a settlement in the ground, there is a foundation failure, okay, so there is a low bearing capacity of soil, right? So many people answered this question in geotechnical point of view, right? So many people answered in terms of geotechnical point of view. But if you observe this failure, there is no failure takes place at foundation. Have you seen this? See, there is no failure, there is no column crush takes place. So there is no settlement in the structure, right? There is no foundation damage, nothing there. So what might be the reason? So here, in my perspective, what I am thinking is where the load on this particular column is not axial throughout the building. Okay, so that is my opinion, right? See, whatever the structure you construct, please try to make the load should transfer axially from top to bottom, isn't it? Load should always pass through its center, right? So when the load is heavy within its axial load, what happens? See, in every column there will be a possibility of failures like this. See, when for an axial loaded column, basically columns will fail under local buckling, columns will fail under squeezing, right? Columns will fail under overall flexural buckling, and columns will fail under torsional buckling. So these are the known failures of a column. Remember that. So good morning Anusha, good morning. See, usually columns fails under only these 4 criteria. Okay. So short columns usually crush. We never bother about short column because we are in structures, we deal only along columns, isn't it? In buildings particularly. See, when the column is subjected to axial loaded, so there will be a local buckling, but there is no buckling in the building. Have you seen? No buckling. So there is no squeezing, isn't it? So there is no flexural buckling also in the column. So you can see the bottommost column which is not at all buckled, right? So here you can see where the column not at all buckled. And even torsional buckling also, even the column was not twisted, even the building also not twisted. See, considering the whole structure as a slender member, see, if you see its width to thickness ratio with respect to its height, see, usually the member was slender. I mean, the whole structure was slender, isn't it? Right? See, in my opinion, what I thought is where the column, I mean, whenever they are casting columns at every story, so they didn't maintain proper, plumb level in the particular column alignment. So maybe that leads to eccentrical load. Due to that eccentrical load, so maybe the structure was deflected towards the other side. Okay. So due to the eccentrical load, the structure was deflected. See, there is no failure in the structure because of the eccentrical load. The structure was deformed, and still this structure was not at under service. So we should not we should not make the structure service, because maybe the next failure it gonna be buckling in the column, and usually columns will crush. Okay, so the next failure might be the column will definitely undergo buckling. So that is how we need to, it's my opinion, guys. Even you may have the different opinions, but my point of view. Good morning, Andrew Levy, good morning. Dr. Anjubabu, good morning, sir. Rashekar, good morning. Rakesh, Raki, good morning. See, in my opinion, why? Because many people commented in terms of geotechnical aspect, but I don't think nothing there in terms of geotechnical aspect, because when the column got settled, right? So maybe you may think that even there is a small sinking in the column also, but by going to site, we can investigate it properly. So might be there may be a small settlement even in the soil also. Okay, but by seeing the structure visually, so I can say that there is a small eccentrical load happens, right? So obviously, so there may be different reasons. So Vijay Verma, good morning. Right. Okay. So then this is how we need to investigate the failures of the structure summer. So let me start the problem today. So which is on a laced column. And once again, I welcome everyone for the today's session. So which we are going to discuss on a laced column. Right. Okay. So let me read out the question. So here I am asking you to design a laced column with the two channels back to back. Okay. So here we are going to design a laced column in terms of lateral system, where the length of column is 10 meters to carry an axial factor load of 1400 kilonewton, right? The column may be assumed to have restrained in position but not in direction at both ends. What do you mean that? So column is hinged. The column supports are hinged. Why? Because the column is assumed to have restrained in position but not restrained in both ends. Restrained in terms of direction. Direction in the sense rotation. When it is not restrained against direction, so where the member is allowing rotation. When the members will allow rotation, when the support is hinged, it will allow rotation. Okay, that is how I can understand this problem, right? So let me write down the given data, then we can pursue the problem. Given data. So what is the given data? First one, length of column 10 meters, which is nothing but 10,000 mm, right? Effective length of the column, as column is hinged, so it is 1 into L. Okay, so 1 into 10,000, same. Effective length is also 10,000 mm. How? Is based on the end condition. So there is a pin at both ends. So by that, the column will have a deflection like this, and the effective length is this, isn't it? What is this? 1 into L. Okay, right. So next, he given the factored load, which is P, 1400 kilonewton. Right? So this is the data given, right? Okay. So he asked you to design your laced column with the help of two channels which are placed back to back, but he didn't given any size of any kind of information about channels. So we have to decide our own section based on the gross area required for the load of 1400 kilonewton, isn't it? So let me assume design compressive stress of the column. Assume FCD value. So here I am assuming it as 135 Newton per mm square. So you may ask me, sir, on what base you are assuming this value? On what base you are assuming the design compression stress of the value? So here there is a point, FCD by Fy is equal to 0.45. So where we can get this information from figure 8 in your column, based on the column buckling curves. So there is a column buckling curves over here, right? So you can see in figure number 8, column buckling curves. So basically your column C section falls under buckling class. In which buckling class it falls under? It falls under buckling class C. So you can see from table number 10, channel sections, angle, T and solid sections will fall under buckling class C, right? So based on the buckling class C, by seeing this column buckling curves, you can get the value of FCD by Fy based on the buckling class curve C. You can interpolate, and where your value will be in between 0.4 to 0.5. Okay, within the curve C curve anamata, right? So from there I took, so where your FCD is equal to 0.45 times of Fy. So how much it will be? Calculate. 0.45 into Fy value is 250, so which is around 112, isn't it? Your FCD value is 0.45 into 250, which is around 112 Newton per mm square. So you can assume it as more than 112, like 120 you can assume 130, it's your wish. Okay, anyway, whatever the assumption you make, that is going to be checked at where? At the column design. Okay, so we are going to check this FCD value from the table number 9C. Okay, so why? Because table number 9C is talking about the buckling class to get the design compression stress of the values, right? So now FCD value you got, and what is the formula we have? PD is equal to AG into FCD, where you know the design I need to satisfy with, your PD should always be greater than P. I can take PD is equal to P also. Then what is your PD value? 400 into 10 cube is equal to, what is the gross area? I don't know the gross area of my channels. What is FCD value which you assumed? 135. Got it? Then calculate AG value. AG is 10,370 mm square. What is this AG? What is this AG, Amma? This gross area is not for a single channel section. This gross area is for two channel sections, because he is asking you to design two channel sections based on the load of 1400 kilonewton, isn't it? So whatever the area I got, this area is for two channels, right? So now let's see the steel tables and go through the steel tables and try the section. Try to ISMC. ISMC stands for Indian Standard Main Channel of 350 at the rate of 413 Newton per meter. From where I got this? I got this from steel tables. Please go through the steel tables, and you can, based on the gross area required for two channel sections, go through the steel table and choose your channel section. Okay, which I choose this. Then what is the area of single channel for this ISMC 350? ISMC 350 యొక్క single area entante 5366 mm square. Okay, for one channel. But here I want to take two channels. Then what is area provided? Area provided for two channels, which is 2 into 5366, because of two channels, and the total area is 10,732 mm square. So see here, the gross area is 10,732, which is greater than your required value of 10,370 mm square. Got it? So now your channel sections are having more area to sustain the load of 1400 kilonewton. Got it? So this is how you have to check you have to select your section from the steel table. Got it? Right? Okay. So next write down the sectional properties from the steel table again. What are the sectional properties required? You want radius of gyration. What is RXX value? RXX is 136.6 mm for a single channel section. What is RYY? RYY of the single channel section is 28.3. See, even you can see the radius of gyration is minimum for C channel sections towards Y axis and maximum for X axis. And what is the other one? Moment of inertia with respect to X axis. What is the moment of inertia? 10,008 into 10 power 4 mm power 4. IYY value is 430.6 into 10 power 4 mm power 4. See, even you can see the moment of inertia is less towards Y axis and more towards X axis, even for the channel section, right? So these are the values which I got from steel table. So please go through your steel table summa. So these values you may get from there. Okay. So now let me calculate whether the column is safe for the axial load or not. See, before starting your lacing design, first you have to check whether your column is safe for the axial load or not. Okay. So appudu em cheyali, normal column design ela chestamo ala mundu column ni design cheyali. So let's see whether the column is safe or not. safe or not check చేయాలంటే ఏంటి? First I need to calculate the lambda value, right? So what is the lambda? So lambda is nothing but slenderness ratio, which I have to calculate. ఇక్కడ important note, ఏంటమ్మా important note? In laced columns you have to maintain distance will be maintained, avuna? So in laced columns distance will be maintained so as to get ఏ విధంగా మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాం? టు గెట్ RYY greater than or equal to RZZ. Very 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 important. This is the condition. For the laced columns you have to maintain some distance of the two C channel sections. Okay, see now you can see here, this is one C channel section, this is other C channel section. First, before designing the lacing, you have to check whether the column is having capacity to sustain the axial load or not. Okay, so for that I have to move some distance from the principal axis. So a base మీద నేను మూవ్ చేయాలి ఇవి based on RYY greater than or equal to RXX or RZZ. RXX అనే రాసుకోండి, ZZ అన్న XX అన్న ఒకటే, right? RXX. Then what happens? So why I am taking this? Because I am increasing the radius of gyration with respect to the y axis, which is equivalent to RXX. నేను ఈక్వల్ చేస్తాను. Okay, why? RYY is minimum, RXX is maximum. When you take RYY minimum value, your slenderness ratio will be more. When your slenderness ratio will be more, it is prone to buckling. So that is the reason why I am taking RYY which is equivalent to RXX. When RXX is more, slenderness ratio will become less. By that it is safe under buckling. So that is the reason why I am taking this value. Okay. So now take your RXX value for calculating the slenderness ratio. Entamma? RXX value 136.6 mm. So calculate lambda. Lambda is equal to KL by R. What is your KL? Effective length 1 into 1000 by 136.6, which is 73.206. Everyone understood? Andariki oka doubt untundi ikkada. Get clear here itself. Why I took 136.6 instead of 28.3? You all know, sir, for calculating slenderness ratio you have to take the minimum value kada an antaru, avuna? In here the minimum value is 28.3. So why I took 136.6? Here the important note, idi note anamata. In laced columns your condition is your RYY should always be greater than or equal to RXX. Then only the laced column can be designed. So here what I am taking, your RYY can be taken as RXX. So that is the reason why I took RXX to design this laced column. So that is the reason why you got slenderness ratio as 73.206. Okay. Now, so what is your condition? మీకు ఒక డిజైన్ స్టెప్ చెప్పాను లేస్డ్ కాలమ్ ఏంది? సిన్స్ it is a laced column, for the laced column how to calculate the slenderness ratio? Lambda is equal to, for laced column what is your condition? అందరూ నిన్న చెప్పిన నోట్స్ ఓపెన్ చేయండి. For laced column what is your lambda? Is equal to 1.05 times of lambda of your column. Then what is your value? 1.05 times into 73.206, so which is 76.87. So this is your lambda value for laced column. So this is for general channel section, isn't it? So this is for laced column where you have to multiply with 1.05. Enduku? Even I told you the reason why you have to multiply your lambda with 1.05 to safeguard under shear. Okay, for the shear deformation effect you have to multiply with 1.05. Okay, right. So now you got lambda, you know Fy which is 250 Newton per mm square, and your C channel section falls under which class? Which falls under buckling class C, right? So you know lambda, you know Fy, you know where your column is falling under buckling class C. Then all of you see table number 9C. Andaru open chesi. So let's see your values, FCD values. Fy is equal to 250 Newton per mm square. and your lambda value is 76 ante 70 ki 80 ki మధ్యలో 76.87 ki Fy values note చేద్దాం. Okay, so let's see your 9C value, 9C table. So here you go, design compressive stress FCD value for column buckling class C. Okay, so let me see the values. So for 70, your 250, for Fy 250 the value is 152. Okay, 152. For 80 you got value as 136. Then what is the value for 76.87, which is in between 70 to 80? For what we have to do? We have to go for interpolation. Okay, so let me do the interpolation to calculate FCD value, right? So how to do the interpolation for this? FCD is equal to 152 minus difference of these two, 6.87 by difference of these two, 10 of 152 minus 136. What is the value? 141.0 Newton per mm square, which you got as a design compression stress of your column. Okay, now tell me what is load carrying capacity. Your PD calculate cheyandi. PD is equal to AG into FCD. What is your AG? AG is nothing but total gross area of the two C channel sections. What is the total gross area of two C channel sections? Which is 10,732. 10,732 into what is your FCD value? 141. Multiply with that and your value is 1513.29 kilonewton. So this is the design strength of your column, which is greater than the applied force of 1400 kilonewton. So where your column is safe. Got it? So this is how you have to check first whether your column is safe or not. Understood everyone? Right? So before designing the lacing, you have to check whether your column is safe or not towards the load of 1400 kilonewton. Right? Now let me draw the diagram. Right? So let me take two C channel sections. Two C channel sections. Okay, ikkada varaku column design అయిపోయింది. Now what we have to start with? We have to start with laced column design. Okay, or design of lacing, right? So these two C channel sections is to be placed far away from each other to calculate this B. ఎంత దూరం ప్లేస్ చేయాలి? For getting satisfied as IYY equal to IXX, where RYY equal to RYY. ఈ కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయ్యేంత దూరంలో ఇది ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. But you don't know the distance, isn't it? At how much distance you have to place these two C channel sections. That's why the unknown value is B. Okay, let me calculate this B value. Okay, right. See here there will be a bolt where I am going to place it as a for lacing. So this bolt distance will be given in the code, I mean in the steel table, right? So don't worry, this value is given in your steel table, which is as G. Okay, so దీన్ని G గా indicate చేస్తారు. So this value will be given in the code as G, where G of this C channel section is 60. Okay, so this distance is given as 60 and this is the unknown value. Understood? Clear andarki? Right. So now let me calculate the moment of inertia of this compound section with respect to x and with respect to y. Okay, why I have to calculate the moment of inertia? By calculating the moment of inertia only I can able to calculate the distance to be maintained between two C channel sections, right? So now let me calculate first IXX. Okay, సో మనం సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ రాసుకున్నాం కదా. See, the sectional properties of single C channel section is 10,008 into 10 power 4. IYY enta 430.6 into 10 power 4. Okay. Now, for this compound section, because there are two C channel sections where I have to calculate the moment of inertia, which is a compound C channel sections, right? So, with respect to x-axis. So, what is moment of inertia with respect to x-axis? I xx plus a into y square. Right? What is Ixx of each C channel section? 10008 into 10 power 4. How many C channel sections are there? 2. 2 into. Plus, what is area of each C channel section? What is the area? How many channel sections you have? 2. 2 into. And area of each C channel section is 5366 into. Okay. Y. What do you mean Y here? Y stands for distance from the neutral axis to the centroid of the C channel section with respect to Y. ఇప్పుడు ఇది న్యూట్రల్ యాక్సిస్. మరి ఈ C ఛానల్స్కి Y డెప్త్ ఎంత సెంటర్ ఇదే. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద centroidal depth of the channel section and the neutral axis of whole compound section is also this. Then where is Y distance? There is no Y distance. By that it becomes 0. So this becomes 0. Okay, understood? 2 into 5366 is area, and the depth of your compound section with respect to single channel section is 0. Why? Because this is the centroid of your whole compound section, and Y is also center at here only. So both are lying in the same axis. By that the distance is 0. Okay. So now what is the moment of inertia value? 20016 into 10 power 4 mm power 4, which is your Ixx value. Okay. Next, let me calculate Iyy compound section. Same. Iyy plus a into x square, isn't it? Right. Then what is Iyy value? How many sections you have? 2. Let me take multiplication of 2 out. And what is Iyy of a single channel section? 430.6 into 10 power 4 plus what is area of a single channel section? 5366 into, right? Into x square. What is x? X ante moment of inertia with respect to y, the x distance. ఇప్పుడు ఈ కాంపౌండ్ సెక్షన్లో x distance ఎంతో చెప్పండి. So this is your y axis. Okay. So this is your y axis, and centroid of each C channel section is this. So this is your center, and this is your center. Avuna? Chodamma. This is the center of the C channel section. This is CG, and this is CG. What is CG of single channel section? From the steel table you can get the value. What is CG of single channel section? From here to here. E value enta. So this value is 24.4 mm, which we got from the steel table. Ardhamavutunda? I want x distance to the neutral axis, to the y axis from the centroid of the section. This is the centroid of the section. This point to this point. E distance nak kavali. What is this distance? So this is b by 2, and this is 24.4. So this is the x distance with respect to y axis. Avuna? What is that? Let me write this. B by 2 plus 24.4 square. Clear? See, just you have to know how to calculate the moment of inertia. So then it will be very easy to understand. For y, you need to get the distance of x. X from where? From the centroid of each section to the centroid of the whole compound section. Ikkada nunchi ikkada distance b by 2 plus 24.4 whole square. Pawan Kalyan, once repeat again. See, simple amma. First you have to know the formula of moment of inertia ante. So this is moment of inertia of compound section with respect to x. This is the moment of inertia of a compound section with respect to y. Ixx is equal to Ixx plus a into y square. Ante moment of inertia of a single channel section plus area into y ante depth from the neutral axis of single channel section, right? And the center of the whole compound section. Simple. Ipudu this center of your channel section with respect to y distance center ide kada, mari x axis center kuda ide kada compound section ki. Then is there any distance of y? No distance of y, అందువల్ల 0. Iy calculate చేసేటప్పుడు ఏంటి, you need to get the x distance with respect to y axis. Y axis of the whole compound section is here. So this is the axis of the whole compound section and this is the centroid of the single channel section, right? And what is the distance? Distance is there, b by 2 plus 24.4. But coming to x axis, this is the centroid of the whole compound section and this is the centroid of your y section. Then half e kada, right? So ee half ni ee axis lone mix అయిపోతుంది. So then your distance is 0. ikkada distance వస్తుంది. Okay, that is only simple concept amma. Okay, so don't get worried about this, just you have to know the basics of calculating moment of inertia. Pavan, got it? So now the distance of x from the neutral axis of the compound section to the neutral axis of to the centroid of the channel section, adi b by 2 plus 24.4. 24.4 is the CG value. And what is your moment of inertia? Because it is in terms of b by 2 kada, you can't calculate. Ippudu enti condition, what condition I need to get satisfied? The condition is your Iyy should be equal to Ixx. Then make it equal here. Ixx of compound section should be equal to Iyy of compound section, right? So this is the condition which I need to make. Then equate this to 20,016 into 10 power 4 is equal to 2 times of 40.6 into 10 power 4 plus 5366 into b by 2 plus 24.4 whole square. When you equate these two, you will get the b value. The b value is 218.4 mm. So which I am going to take it as 220 mm. Okay. So this is your b value. So now what you do is place this b value over here where the distance between these two C channel sections is 220 mm. Clear? So that is how you have to calculate the b value in between two C channel sections. Why? To get your Ryy equal to Rxx. Sorry, this Rxx. Okay, to get this condition. Clear? Andarki? Right. So now you calculated the b value. So now start your lacing design based on your design steps. Ninna steps cheppanu kada okkokati. So based on that, let me calculate everything. So before that, let me draw the picture. Okay, again. ఎన్నిసార్లు మనం డయాగ్రామ్ డ్రా చేసుకుంటే ఇట్ విల్ బి దాట్ ఈజీ అనమాట. ఓకే, లేసింగ్ డిజైన్. రైట్. సో ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ ఏంటి? ఫస్ట్ ఐ నీడ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ లేసింగ్ విత్ ఎ ప్రాపర్ యాంగిల్, రైట్? సో ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్, let the lacings be provided at 45 degrees to horizontal right. Why I am taking 45? What code is recommending? Code is telling that your theta should be in between 40 degrees to 70 degrees. Avuna? నేను ఎంత తీసుకున్నాను? 45 తీసుకున్నాను. So that's how I maintained the angle, right? So now let me draw the picture again here. Right. Okay, and the distance anna red mark to draw cheddam adi. Right, so this distance is 220, and here is your bolt, right, and this distance is 60, this distance is 60, right? Okay, so now let me draw the lacing, which starts from there. See, here I am going lacing with a steel plate. Okay, instead of angle, instead of a rod, I am going with a steel plate. Okay, see, I am not placing a bolt here. Why? Because I don't know how many number of bolts required to connect your lacing to your channel section. I don't know. Okay, so anduvalla nenu place cheyatledu. So this is your vertical height, vertical spacing, I don't know, and ee distance aithe manaku telustundi kada. Let us take one bolt. Ikkada enni bolts unna meer place cheyochu, but first bolt will be always starts from here. Okay, what is this distance? 220 plus 60 plus 60 enta ma value 120. 120 plus 220 340. 340 is the horizontal distance of your lacing bar. Okay, and what is your effective length? ikkada oka bolt place chesam anukondi. So let me calculate number of bolts based on the load. Okay, nenu tarvata calculate chestanu, and this is the effective length. L effective. Okay, and the angle which I provided with respect to this section is how much? 45 degrees name provide chesanu. Okay, right. So now let me calculate one by one with this data kada. Enti first one, horizontal spacing. Second step, horizontal spacing of lacing. Lacing ఎంత distance లో place చేసామమ్మా? 220 plus 60 plus 60. Horizontal, vertical spacing అది horizontal spacing 340 mm. Okay, right. Next, vertical spacing. How to calculate vertical spacing of lacing? Because you know horizontal length, you know angle, based on that you can calculate this height, multiply this height, you will get the overall vertical spacing. Okay, 340 into tan 45 degrees, which should be multiplied with 2. Why 2? Because 340 into tan 45 degrees, you will get only half of the height. If you want whole height in between two lacing bars, okay, you have to multiply with 2 distances. How much? 680 mm. So the distance here is 680 mm. That is horizontal distance is 340 mm. Clear? Right? And next, what is the fourth step? You have to calculate your column slenderness ratio of this distance. ఈ vertical distance safe unda leda check cheyali. Slenderness ratio, right? See, earlier you have checked the whole column slenderness ratio, but when you start doing lacing, your whole column effective length was reduced to this much. Why? Earlier without lacing, your effective length is in between two supports. Whenever you made a hole here and here in the column, the effective length is reduced to this much. So now your column height is only this much. This. Why? Because see, by making this hole in the column, it is making your member rotate at this point. By making hole in this member rotate at this point. As I already told you, the effective length of any member in between two point of counterflexures is called effective length. So now the whole effective length of the column is reduced to this much. Now I have to check what is the slenderness ratio of this length. Okay, ee particular height nemantaru vertical spacing. How much I got the vertical spacing? 680 mm. So now let me check whether this vertical height is safe or not. Dini kuda condition cheppanu enti, this slenderness ratio of this member should be less than 50 times or 0.7 times of the overall slenderness ratio అని ఒక కండిషన్ చెప్పాం. In the same way I am going to check. So lambda of channel between lacings is equal to, what is KL by R? What is KL? KL is the effective length of these two members. These two, ఈ రెండు హోల్స్ ఉన్న దగ్గర ఈ వర్టికల్ హైట్. ఇప్పుడు ఇదేంటిది? ఇట్స్ ఎ పిన్డ్ జాయింట్. ఇట్స్ ఎ పిన్డ్ జాయింట్. సో పిన్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ 1 into L. సో 1 into 680 by what is minimum radius of gyration of this channel? ఈ సింగిల్ ఛానల్ యొక్క రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ గైరేషన్ మినిమం ఎంతమ్మా? 28.3. ఓకే, 28.3 is the minimum radius of gyration of this channel, of a single channel, right? So then what is the value? 24.03 slenderness ratio వచ్చింది. మన కండిషన్ ఏంటి? your lambda should not be greater than 50 kada. Then what is your value? 24.3 is less than 50. So by that your column, your channel is safe in between these two vertical spacings of the lacing bars. ఈ రెండిటి మధ్య ఉన్న vertical spacing of the column కూడా safe వచ్చింది. Why? Because this is your condition where your lambda should not be greater than 50, right? So ఇలాగా మనం చెక్ చేస్తాం ఒక కండిషన్, right? Then next go with the other one. What is the next design step in your lacing? You have to calculate the force, right? So let me calculate the force required. What is that force? Which is called a transverse force. Fifth point. Transverse shear to be resisted by lacing system. Code ఏం చెప్పానమ్మా? Your VT should be is equal to transverse shear. VT is equal to 2.5% of axial load అని మనం మాట్లాడాం నిన్న, అవునా? రైట్, లెట్ మీ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ దట్. 2.5% అంటే 2.5 by 100. What is your axial force? 1400 kilonewton. So then what is your load? 35 kilonewton is your transverse force. Okay, for which system? For lacing system. But you want for single laced system, right? So shear to be resisted by each lacing system. ఎందుకంటే లేసింగ్ సిస్టమ్ వాజ్ డివైడెడ్ ఆన్ బోత్ సైడ్స్ కదా. సో ఈచ్ లేసింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ఎంత ఫోర్స్ని క్యారీ చేస్తుంది? 35/2 విచ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 17,500 Newton. ఓకే, రైట్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ద షియర్ ఫోర్స్, రైట్? సో లెట్ మీ కీప్ దిస్ షియర్ ఫోర్స్ aside. ట్రాన్స్ఫర్స్ షియర్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్ ఏం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి? నెక్స్ట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్. ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ లేసింగ్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి, అవునా? effective length of lacing is equal to, what is the effective length amma? How to calculate this effective length? This length ela calculate cheyali? You know horizontal distance, you know angle. Based on that you can calculate, or else you know vertical height, you know horizontal distance. By using Pythagoras theorem you can able to calculate the inclined length. ఎలా అయినా మీరు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, సో లెట్ మీ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ఇన్ మై వే. సో వేర్ ద డిస్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ 220 + 60 + 60 విచ్ ఇస్ ద హారిజాంటల్ డిస్టెన్స్ బై cos 45 degrees. ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ ద లెంత్? 480.83 mm. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ అమ్మా? ద ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ L effective is equal to 480.83 mm వచ్చింది. సో ఈ లెంత్ 480.83. For what I require this effective length? ఈ effective length ఎందుకు కావాలి నాకు? For calculating what? For calculating the minimum, for calculate the minimum thickness of lacing. Minimum thickness of lacing. What is the minimum thickness of lacing formula? For single lacing system, what is the formula? 1/40th times of L effective. Your L effective is this. 1/40th times of L effective, isn't it? So 1/40 into what is your L effective value? 480.83, and your thickness is 12.02 mm. Okay, so this is your thickness of your lacing bar, right? So now you can place it here. This is your lacing bar. So you got a thickness as 12 mm. Okay, width calculate చేద్దాం ఇప్పుడు, right? Width ఎంత అనేది. So what is the width formula? What is the width formula? Your minimum width of lacing. The width is always depends on the diameter of the bolt, isn't it? Right? Minimum width of lacing by assuming diameter of bolt as 20 mm, because the minimum width is always depends on the diameter of the bolt. What is the diameter of the bolt value? I assumed as 20 mm. What is the formula? Minimum width B is equal to ఏంటమ్మా formula? 3 times the diameter of the bolt. ఇది formula. అవునా? Right. So this is the formula for thickness, right? So 3 into what is the D? 20. 60 mm is the width. Okay, so now let me write the width here, which is a 60 mm. Okay, so this is the lacing bar. Okay, right? Okay, so now yeah, we have done everything. Now what is the size of lacing bar? Lacing bar size entamma 60/14 mm size anamata. 60 is the width, sorry 12 kada, 12, 60/12 mm in the size. Okay, so మీరు ఇక్కడ 12.02 వచ్చింది కదా, you can round it for 12, or else you can take it as దీన్ని 60/14 mm అని కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు, నో ఇష్యూ. ఎందుకంటే కొద్దిగా ఎక్కువే వచ్చింది కాబట్టి, సో యూ క్యాన్ టేక్ మోర్ థిక్నెస్ టు సస్టైన్ ఫర్ లోడ్స్. ఓకే, హెవీ కంప్రెషన్ లోడ్స్ని సస్టైన్ చేయడానికి ఎక్కువ థిక్నెస్ కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు టేకెన్ యాజ్, ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ 12 ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ యాజ్ 14 mm, రైట్? సో లెట్ మీ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ అదర్ థింగ్స్ నౌ. వాట్ ఈస్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్? వాట్ ఈస్ ద నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్? I have to calculate the radius of gyration of the what? Of the column, sorry, of the lacing bar. Lacing bar యొక్క radius of gyration calculate చేయాలి. What is the radius of gyration? R is equal to root of I/A of your lacing bar. So what is your lacing bar? So this is your lacing bar, which is having a thickness of 14 mm, which is having a width of, what is the width? 60 mm. Okay, so now R is equal to root of, what is moment of inertia of this? BD cube by 12. B anta 60 into 14 cube by 12, which is I by A. What is the area of the lacing bar? Lacing bar or plate, ఏదైనా అనొచ్చు. ఓకే, now calculate R, which is 4.041 mm. Okay, let me calculate lambda, which is L effective of lacing bar by R. What is L effective of your lacing bar? ఎంత వచ్చిందమ్మా మనకు వాల్యూ? 480.83. L effective of lacing bar is 480.83 by what is R value 4.04, where your value is 118.97. So lambda of your lacing bar is how much? 118.97. What is the condition? అందరూ ఒకసారి నిన్న మనం చెప్పిన కాన్సెప్ట్ రివైజ్ చేసుకోండి. Your slenderness ratio of your lacing bar should not be greater than 145. That is the condition. Okay. So 118.9 is less than 145. So your lacing bar is safe under buckling. That is the condition, right? So now this is safe. This is a condition. కావాలంటే మీరు ఒకసారి నిన్న చెక్ చేయండి, right? Next, I have to calculate what? I have to calculate the column, lacing bar. When it is subjected to compression, your lacing also will be subjected to compression. Then I have to check whether this lacing is safe under compression load or not. Kada నేను చెక్ చేయాలి. How? I know lambda, I know Fy 250. I will calculate the design compressive stress of this lacing bar. Then I will check whether it is safe or not. In the column ఎలా అయితే మనం చెక్ చేసాం for the axial compression load, for the same way you have to check the lacing bar under compression shear force. And the compression shear force manaki, as we calculated, the compression shear force is 17.5 Newton. Avuna? So please remember this. So this is the force in lacing, so which is acting directly in a form of a shear, right? ఎలా యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది? ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఇంక్లైన్డ్ గా ఉంది, అవునా? సో ద ఫోర్స్ విచ్ ఈజ్ యాక్టింగ్ vertically like this. The 1400 is the axial force which is acting on the column. So what is the shear force acting on each lacing bar? ఒక్కొక్క లేసింగ్ మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతున్న షియర్ ఫోర్స్ ఎంత? 17.5 kilonewton. 17.5 kilonewton which is acting vertically downwards like this. This force ఇలాగా compression యాక్ట్ అవ్వాలి అంటే I need to resolve this force into axial of this lacing bar. Lacing bar lo axis ga enta act avutundo chodali, avuna? So let me calculate that. Here let me calculate force in lacing. How to calculate force in lacing? See your lacing bar is like this. This is your hole. Force is acting of how much? 17.5 kilonewton, which is the direct shear force, okay, on each lacing bar. What is the axis of your lacing with respect to this, which is 45 degrees, avuna? Then I want a force which is acting here. Aa force ni ila resolve cheyali. I want this force which makes compression, okay? Each bolt మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతున్న ఫోర్స్ 17.5 kilonewton. ఈ ఫోర్స్ని ఇక్కడ రిజాల్వ్ చేస్తే ఈ ఫోర్స్ ఎంత వస్తుందమ్మా? వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ వాల్యూ? 17.5 by sin 45 degrees, which is 24.799 what? Kilonewton. 24.749 kilonewton is the force which is acting in the lacing bar. 24.749 is the force. 749 is the force which is acting on the lacing bar in terms of compression. Whatever the force we calculated here, this is the shear force. This shear force makes your bolt shear, okay? I need to resolve this force into a compression force. Resolve cheyali ante 17.5 by sin 45 degrees is the resolution force. See why I consider thickness as 14 ante amma 12 point something వచ్చింది కదా, that's why I took more thickness. ఎప్పుడు values as per the problem concern, if you take more values, definitely it gonna satisfy with other conditions also. That is the only reason I took more thickness, okay? So 2 mm ఎక్కువ థిక్నెస్ తీసుకున్న దానివల్ల హోల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ కాస్ట్లీ ఏం అయిపోదు. ఇట్ మే క్యారీ మోర్ లోడ్ అనమాట, ఎందుకంటే దట్ థిక్నెస్ ప్లేస్ ఎ వైటల్ రోల్ ఇన్ క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ ద రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ గైరేషన్, ఓకే? So that thickness plays a vital role in calculating the slenderness ratio. That thickness may leads to have a safe under buckling in terms of buckling of the lacing bar. Anduvalla I just calculated by taking the thickness as 2 mm more. Okay na? Actually as per the problem I got 12.02. I took it as a 14 ante. Okay, ekku value తీసుకున్నాను. It won't be any problem. Okay na? Right. So now I know lambda. So based on that, try to calculate your FCD value. Lambda value telso. Lambda is 118.97 for lacing bar. Okay, and Fy is equal to 250 Newton per mm square, as I know. And lacing bar buckling class ఏదో చెప్పగలరా? Lacing bar is something like a solid rod, isn't it? Solid rods comes under which buckling class? అందరూ ఒకసారి చూడండి, టేబుల్ నెంబర్ 10, C channel angle T. చూడండి, what is this? This is solid square rod. This is nothing but a flat. It is circular rod. It is flat rod. Flat rod comes under which class? Buckling class C. Buckling class C from table number 10. So now I know lambda, I know Fy, buckling class C. Then again go with the table number 9C and calculate what is FCD value of your lacing bar. So again go with the table number 9C to calculate your FCD value for the lacing. ఇందాక మనం చెక్ చేసింది దేనికి? For column. Now I am checking for lacing bar, which is subjected to a compression force of 24.749 kilonewton. Okay, Fy is equal to 250 Newton per mm square. What is the lambda of your lacing? 118. 118 will lie in between 110, 120, 118.97. Tell me what is the Fy value for 110? 110 value ki Fy ento cheppandamma? 94.6. For 120, what is your Fy value? 83.7. Isn't it? Right? So now interpolate these two and tell me this value. Ela interpolate chestaru? 94.6 for calculating FCD value minus difference of these two. How much? 8.97 by difference of these two, 10. 94.6 minus 83.7. Interpolate this. The value which you get is 84.82 Newton per mm square. This is your FCD value which you got from table number 9C. Okay, so which is in the page number 42. ikkadi nunchi vachindi, right? So then let me calculate what? Design compression strength of the lacing bar. Design compression strength of the lacing bar formula. For any compression strength of your member, the formula is same. Enti? PD is equal to AG into FCD. Right? What is your PD value? You can calculate from AG. What is AG? What is gross area of your lacing bar? Gross area entamma? 60 into 14. 60 into 14 is the gross area. What is your FCD value of lacing bar? 84.82. 84.82. Calculate this and you will get a value of 71.251 kilonewton. Very good. This is your design compression strength of the lacing bar, which is greater than, what is the force acting on the lacing bar? 24.749. 24.749 kilonewton. So the design compression strength of your lacing bar is 71.2, which is greater than 24.749. By that your lacing is safe under compression. Got it? So your lacing is safe under compression. Ayipindi. Done. What is the next I need to do? I need to calculate the connections. How to connect your lacing bar to the C channel section. How to connect? So now I need to calculate the number of bolts required to connect your lacing bar, number of bolts required to connect this lacing to the column. Column ki connect cheyadaniki any number of bolts kavalo nenu calculate cheyali, right? That is what the connections. So let me calculate the strength of bolt. Strength of bolt. దేంట్లో క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలమ్మా? I need to calculate the strength of bolt under shear. Why? So again, see every parameter is very important because everything it comes from the real application. చూడండి, a column force of 1400 kilonewton which is acting in the column, where every lacing is carrying force of ఎంత? 17.5 kilonewton. Every lacing bar is carrying a force of 17.5 kilonewton, which makes bolt to shear. Bolt ఎలా ఉంది? This is the direction of the bolt. Force ఎలా ఉంది? This is the direction of the force. This force making bolt shear off, right? చూడండి. So this is your lacing. Your bolt is like this. How much is the force? Your force is, shear force is 17.5 kilonewton. This force makes this bolt shear. That's why I need to calculate the shear strength of bolt. What is the shear strength of the bolt formula? VDSB is equal to FUB by root 3 of NN into ANB plus NS into ASB by gamma MB. Your bolt is connecting how many plates? Bolt is connecting one lacing plate and one flange of the column. Flanging అంటే 2 plates ne connect చేస్తుంది. When it is connecting 2 plates, how many shear planes may happen? There is only one shear plane where bolt is subjected to. Then calculate your shear strength. 410 by root 3 of NN 1 into 0.78 into pi by 4 20 square. Let us take diameter of the bolt as 20 plus. So when there is only one shear plane, that shear planes will fall in thread portion. In shank portion, that shear plane is 0 by 1.25. Let me calculate what is the shear strength of one bolt. In the shear strength of one bolt, 45.272 kilonewton. So this is the shear strength of one bolt. Okay. Let me calculate number of bolts. Number of bolts required to connect lacing bar to column. Column ni connect cheyadaniki enni bolts kavali? How you calculate? You know the strength of one bolt. You know the force acting on each bolt. Force acting on the lacing is 17.5. Strength of one bolt is 45.27. Load by strength of one bolt. How much? 0.387, which is equivalent to one number. Okay. So by that, how many bolts you required to connect your lacing to your column? You required only one bolt. So provide one bolt to connect lacing to column flange. Okay, that's it. So you need to provide one bolt here to connect this lacing to the column. You provide one bolt here to connect this lacing to this column. Why? Because every bolt is subjected to force 17.5 and the strength of one bolt is 45. By that, one bolt is required. One bolt ikkada bolt at every lacing joint you have to provide one bolt. Okay. So this is the design of laced column. Done? Yeah. I am done with the problem. Clear? Andarki problem ardhamainda? I think I did justification in solving the problem. Clear? చూడండి ప్రాబ్లం ఎంత పెద్దగా ఉందో. సో this problem is very easy when you know each and every formula. నేను మనం డిస్కస్ చేసిన అన్ని డిజైన్ స్టెప్స్ ఎప్పుడైతే మీకు గుర్తుంటాయో then doing problem is very easy. The only thing is you have to go through the procedure. Okay. See, this problem is very, very important even for your IAS exams, right? See, I want your response. If you are done with this, then I will start with the baton. Very good, Pavan. Pavan, you understood. What about others? Is this problem clear? Everyone understood every point? See, the design steps you have to remember like this. First, you have to design a column, two C channel sections column, by choosing a section by calculating the gross area. Select 2 C channel sections from the steel table and calculate the total area. That should be more than the area required based on the load. Then check your column for the axial load. When your column is safe, then start your design of lacing in terms of different aspects. First, you have to design the thickness, width, effective length, vertical spacing, horizontal length, and then slenderness ratio of lacing bar, slenderness ratio of the column within the vertical spacing of the lacing, and you have to check whether your lacing is safe under compression force or not. Then you have to calculate number of bolts required to connect lacing to the column. That's it. Sir, 17.5 kilonewton ఎలా వచ్చిందా? See, 17.5 kilonewton మనకి ఇక్కడే కదా వచ్చింది. Shear force. What is the transverse shear force formula? Transverse shear to be resisted by lacing system, 2.5% of axial force. 2.5% అంటే ఎంత? 35. 35 is the lacing system. But each lacing system ఎంత తీసుకుంటుంది? ఎందుకంటే ఒక లేసింగ్ బార్ అంటే ఎన్ని బోల్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి? ఇటు ఉంటుంది, ఇటు ఉంటుంది. సో 35 force you need to divide by 2. So one force will be here, the other force will be here. 35 by 2 will be 17.5. ఆ 17.4 అనేది ఇలా ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, ఫర్ క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ కంప్రెషన్ ఫోర్స్ ఈ వర్టికల్ ఫోర్స్ని మనం యాక్సిస్కి రిజాల్వ్ చేస్తాం. దీన్ని కంప్రెషన్ ఫోర్స్ అంటారు. ఈ కంప్రెషన్ ఫోర్స్ ఎంత? విచ్ వి క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ యాజ్ హౌ మచ్? 24.7. ఓకే, ఇది 17.5 అనమాట. క్లియర్ ప్రవీణ్? Okay, from this we got 17.5 kilonewton. Clear? Others? Rajita ma'am, I think you understood. What about other guys? See, I want your response. So if you say okay, then I will continue with the batten. We will go with the design steps of the batten. చూసారా, ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఇట్ టుక్ 1 hour టు సాల్వ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్. సో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ 1 hour మినిమం తీసుకుంటాయి. రైట్, సో నెక్స్ట్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ విత్ ద batten. డిజైన్ ఆఫ్ batten. battened column. Okay, so let me draw the picture of the battened column and I will try to locate every point over here. Same, I will take the same example as the 2 columns, 2 C channel sections which are placed back to back. So you can take even as a toe to toe also, no worries. Okay, toe to toe kuda teesukochu meeru, no worries. See, there is a connectivity between, so అందువల్ల నేను అలా డ్రా చేశాను. ఓకే, సో దిస్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ B. Again bolts are placed over here. Okay, so there will be a plate here. ఇదొక ప్లేట్. సో దీనికి మీనింగ్ కంటిన్యూటీ అనమాట. ఓకే, రైట్. సో ఆల్ యూ వాచింగ్, గో విత్ టో టు టో. See, both are same amma, ఏం డిఫరెన్స్ లేదు. సో okay, while we are doing problems we can go with the toe to toe, but the diagram and the design steps will be same for any kind of section. Okay, అది toe to toe కానీ back to back కానీ. If you want, we can solve a problem on toe to toe for baton. Okay, bolts are placed here. We'll solve a problem on toe to toe. Okay, if you want. Right, so even you can see the plates over here. Right, that's it. So this is called gauge. Right, width. Right, vertical spacing. Right, and this is called end batten. This is called intermediate batten. Okay, right. Next, this is the length of batten plate. Okay, or else you can take this as a length and this as a width. Idaina teesukochu, because this is width and you can take this as a length, no issue. Okay, and so let me draw the batten plate individually. So batten plate will be like this. Okay, so battens will have a defined thickness also. Thickness of the batten. Right, and the depth of the batten and length of the batten plate. Okay na? So batten plate. Indaka lacing plate chusam kada, in the same way this is a batten plate anamata. Okay, batten plate. What else? So I think you got every parameter over here. So now let me introduce every point. Even here also the same concept. You have to maintain Ixx equal to Iyy and Rxx equal to Ryy. Ide maintain cheyali. Okay, within the axis distance, principal axis distance. So this is the other way of lateral system, right? So this is the other way of lateral system. Earlier we have gone through the single laced system. Okay, so this is the way how the batten system looks like. Two C channel sections which are laterally connected with the help of a lateral system called a batten. So for every column, when you are done with the batten, there will be two plates at both ends of the column, at a boundaries of the column, or okay, at ends of the column I can say. So that plates are called end battens. Whatever the plates which will be there in between the two end batten plates, those are called intermediate battens. So this batten is going to be connected with the column flange with the help of bolts. The n number of bolts you are going to get based on the load. Okay, no worries. Then the distance between this center to this center is called vertical spacing of the batten, and this is called height of the batten. I mean end batten. This is called height of the intermediate batten. This is called thickness of the end batten. This is called thickness of the intermediate batten. This is called length of the end batten. This is called length of the intermediate batten. See one point. The length of end batten is equal to the length of the column flanges from both ends. ఈ లెంత్ అయితే ఎంతైతే ఉంటుందో బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్ కూడా అంతే లెంత్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, యూ క్యాన్ టేక్ ఈక్వల్, నో ఇష్యూ. ఇఫ్ యు నో ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ బి, which is in between two columns, and the width of channel flange and width of channel flange, b plus 2 times of the width of the flanges will be equal to the length of the end batten and length of the intermediate batten. Both are same. ఆ విధంగా కూడా మన లెంత్ ని తీసుకోవచ్చు batten plate కి. Okay, so that is how batten plates look like. This is the cross section, top view, and this is the elevation. Understood? Clear? Right. Now let me go with codal provision. So design of battens will be there in your code from page number. So it was there in your code from page number 50. Page number 50, clause 7.7. Please, you can go through. Right? So this is how page number 51 is talking about the end batten. Right? So even in the end batten, you can see here the picture was showed as a toe to toe. So even you can place like this and you can do the batten. Toe to toe laga C channel sections place chestunnai. Right? And back to back or toe to toe, whatever, you can go through this. See, this is C. C stands for what? C stands for vertical spacing of the battens. Vertical spacing. దీని యొక్క సెంటర్ నుంచి దీని యొక్క సెంటర్ వరకు, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ C. సో ఇక్కడ నామెన్క్లేచర్స్ ఇచ్చుంటారు ఈజీగా. C stands for distance between center to center of battens longitudinally. ఓకే, N అంటే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ప్యారలల్ ప్లేన్స్, V అంటే ట్రాన్స్వర్స్ షియర్ ఫోర్స్, S అంటే మినిమం ట్రాన్స్వర్స్ డిస్టెన్స్. అలా అన్ని పారామీటర్స్ ఇస్తారు. నేను ఒక్కొక్క పాయింట్ నేను మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే, ఓకేనా? రైట్. Now start with steps, design steps one by one. First one, see these design steps I will try to share to you after completion of this presentation. Okay, I will share the notes. In this notes, the design of batten plates which I wrote from the code లో ఉన్నట్టు నేను పాయింట్ వైజ్ రాశాను. So you are having around 15 design steps points. I will try to explain each and every point in this picture itself. Okay, right. So let me go through step one by one. First one, batten plates should be provided symmetrically. What do you mean symmetrically? So whatever the batten plates you are providing, please try to maintain the spacings of each batten with equal spacing. Symmetrical గా ప్లేస్ చేయండి. ఇది ఎక్కువ డిస్టెన్స్, ఇది తక్కువ డిస్టెన్స్, ఇది ఎక్కువ డిస్టెన్స్ అలా ప్లేస్ చేయకూడదు. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఫస్ట్ కండిషన్. ఓకే, ట్రై టు ప్లేస్ యువర్ batten plates symmetrically. Next one, at both ends batten plates should be provided. And a column ends, this is the column end and this is the column end. Okay, at both ends you have to provide the columns, right? I mean, at both ends you have to provide the end battens, right? So at both ends batten plates should be provided. They should be provided at points where the member is stayed in its length. So this is the total length of the column, right? So total length of the column. The total length of the column lo, so it should be provided with 2 end battens. Compulsory ga undali. Okay. Next one, the number of battens should be such that the member is divided into not less than 3 bays. As far as possible, they should be spaced and proportioned uniformly throughout. And oka statement icharu. What do you mean that? Remember one thing. What do you mean bay? Bay ante enti telusa? Let us take your building. If your slab is resting in between 2 beams, that span is called bay. If there are 3 beams, can you tell me how many bays? 2 bays. If there are 4 beams, can we tell me how many base? 1, 2, 3. 4 beams ఉన్నప్పుడు your slab అనేవి 3 బేస్లో ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. ఓకే, లైక్ దిస్. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే your whole column is divided into number of base. కోడ్ ఏం చెప్తుంది? your slab, your column divided into not less than 3 base. Okay, your column condition enti, it should not be less than 3 base. Okay, very important. 3 బేల్ కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకూడదంట. అంటే can you tell me how many inter battens required and how many end battens required? Here you can see 3 base. This is end batten, this is intermediate batten. This is called 1 bay. This is intermediate batten and this is intermediate batten. This is called a second bay. This is intermediate batten, this is end batten. This is called a third bay. Okay, code em cheptundi, make sure that whatever the length of the column is there, try to make sure there should be minimum 3 base. It should not be less than 3 base. 4 base undachu, 5 base undachu, 6 base undachu. It depends on the length of the column, right? But make sure that it should not be less than 3 base undetattu chuskondi, right? So this is 1 bay, second bay, third bay. Bay ante space anamata, space between 2 supports. So that is called bay, right? Idi important condition amma. So దాన్ని బట్టి 2 end battens, 2 intermediate battens ప్రతి కాలమ్కి ఉండాల్సిందే when you are doing lateral systems in terms of batten, right? Next one, battens shall be of plates. Battens ఏమేం వాడచ్చు? Battens shall be of a plate. You can use plate as a batten. You can use angle as a batten. You can use C channel sections as a batten. You can use I sections as a battens. Very important. ఎటువంటి సెక్షన్స్ని బ్యాటన్స్గా వాడచ్చు? You can use battens of these sections. You can use plate. You can use angle. You can use channel section. And you can use I section as a battens. Okay? So batten sections వీటిని మనం వాడచ్చు. ఓకేనా? Right. Next one. By providing battens, distance between the members of columns is so maintained that radius of gyration about the axis perpendicular to the plane of batten is not less than radius of gyration about the axis parallel to the plane of the batten. Ante, so simple. Enti condition enti, make sure that when you are providing a battened column, your RYY should always be greater than or equal to RXX అనే కండిషన్ తో మీరు ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి battens. అంటే ఐ క్యాన్ టేక్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఈక్వల్ ఆల్సో, RY ఈక్వల్ టు RXX అని కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు, అదే స్టేట్మెంట్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ వన్, ద ఎఫెక్టివ్ స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో ఆఫ్ battened column shall be taken as 1.1 times the maximum actual slenderness ratio of the column to account for shear deformation effect. అంటే lambda of battened column should be equal to 1.1 times of lambda of column ఉండాలంట. ఓకేనా? మరి లేస్డ్ కాలమ్స్లో ఎంత, ఎవరైనా చెప్పగలరా? lambda of laced column is equal to 1.05 times of the lambda of the column. ఇక్కడ when it is a battened column, your lambda of column should be multiplied with 1.1 times. Very important for competition exams. Okay, competitive exams. 1.1 తో ఎందుకు? Why 1.1? To account for shear deformation effect. Shear deformation effect ని తగ్గించడం కోసం you should take lambda more of 10%. ఒక్కొక్కసారి కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్లో పర్సంటేజ్ విధంగా కూడా అడుగుతారమ్మా. ఓకే, లేస్డ్ కాలమ్ ఎంత పర్సెంటో చెప్పండి. లేస్డ్ కాలమ్ ఫర్ కంట్రోలింగ్ ద షియర్ డిఫార్మేషన్ ఎఫెక్ట్, హౌ మచ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు కన్సిడర్ ద మ్యాక్సిమమ్, హౌ మచ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు కన్సిడర్ ద స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో ఆఫ్ లేస్డ్ కాలమ్? 5%. ఎందుకు? 1.05 టైమ్స్ అంటే ఎంత? 5% ఎక్కువగా తీసుకోవాలి టు కంట్రోల్ షియర్ డిఫార్మేషన్ ఎఫెక్ట్. ఇక్కడ 1.1 మీన్స్ వాట్? 1.1 మీన్స్ 10%. కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్లో పర్సంటేజ్లో కూడా అడుగుతారు. 10% అంటే 0.1 వాల్యూ. 1 + 1 0.1 ఎంత? 1.1 అలా. ఓకే, So to control shear deformation effect, very very important. Clear? Right? Next step, the vertical spacing of battens measured as ante idi. So the vertical spacing of battens measured as center to center of end fasteners or intermediate fasteners. సెంటర్ టు సెంటర్ డిస్టెన్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఈ బ్యాటన్ సెంటర్ నుంచి ఈ బ్యాటన్ సెంటర్ వరకు అలా అయినా తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఈ బ్యాటన్ ఎండ్ నుంచి ఈ బ్యాటన్ ఎండ్ వరకు, అది కూడా సెంటర్ టు సెంటర్ డిస్టెన్సే. ఓకేనా? ఎనీథింగ్ ఈజ్ ఫైన్. సో ద వర్టికల్ స్పేసింగ్ ఏ విధంగా ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి అంటే, దిస్ సి షుడ్ నాట్ బి neither greater should not be less than 50 times or 0.7 times the lambda value of the channel section. అర్థమవుతుందా? సి అనేది సేమ్ లేసింగ్ కండిషన్లో లాగే, వర్టికల్ స్పేసింగ్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి లెస్ దాన్ 50 or 0.7 times the slenderness ratio of the column. ఓకే, కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకూడదు. అంటే ఉండకూడదు అంటే ఎక్కువ ఉండొచ్చు కదా, ఈక్వల్ ఉండొచ్చు కదా. సో లైక్ దట్ యూ క్యాన్ టేక్ దిస్ కండిషన్. వర్టికల్ స్పేసింగ్ అనే కండిషన్ ఇది సాటిస్ఫై అవ్వాలి. ఓకే, అండర్స్టూడ్? నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్, బ్యాటన్స్ షెల్ బి డిజైన్డ్ టు క్యారీ. ఇక్కడ స్పేస్ లేదమ్మా, ఐ విల్ ట్రై టు రైట్ డౌన్ హియర్. ఇక్కడ స్పేస్ లేదు కదా, ఐ విల్ ట్రై టు రైట్ డౌన్ ఇన్ అనదర్ పేజ్ బై కీపింగ్ దిస్ లైక్ దిస్. వర్టికల్ ఫోర్స్ ఏంటి? బ్యాటన్స్ షెల్ బి డిజైన్డ్ టు క్యారీ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అండ్ షియర్ ఫోర్సెస్ arises from transverse shear Vt which is equal to 2.5% of the total axial force. ఇక్కడ కూడా Vt ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాము? 2.5% of the axial force. Okay, in case columns are subjected to moments also, the resulting shear force should be found and the design shear is sum of the shear and 2.5% of axial load అంట. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏంటి? battens should be designed or shall be designed for ఒకటి moment, second one for shear. Can anyone tell me why battens should be designed for moment and shear? Why your battens should be designed for moment and shear? ఒకసారి చూడండి. So this is your battened column. Let us take your column is subjected to compression force like this, axial compression force, right? How your batten plate was? Your batten plate is something like a beam, isn't it? Beam ఇది ఏం ఇంక్లైన్డ్గా లేదు, ఇది హారిజాంటల్గా ఉంది. హారిజాంటల్గా ఉన్న ఏ మెంబర్స్ అయినా we can consider it as a small beams. So when force is like this and your beam is longitudinal, I mean horizontal, right? Force is transverse. ఏమవుతుంది? ఈ beam will be subjected to bending. అవునా? This beam will be subjected to bending and this force will make your bolt shear. అవునా? So like this. So this is your batten plate which was connected with the bolts. So this is your axial force on the batten which makes your batten bend like this. So this is called a bending moment. And you know, even batten plates will try to resist force kada. ఈ ఫోర్స్ ని రెసిస్ట్ చేసే ఫోర్స్ ఉండే ఇవేంటివి? షియర్ ఫోర్స్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై యువర్ బ్యాటన్స్ ఆర్ టు బి డిజైన్డ్ ఫర్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అండ్ షియర్ ఫోర్స్. ఓకే, సో అలాగే బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్స్ అనేవి మనం బెండింగ్స్కి షియర్స్కి డిజైన్ చేయాలి. క్లియర్? అండర్స్టూడ్? ఎర్లియర్ యూ డిజైన్డ్ లేసింగ్ ఫర్ వాట్? యూ డిజైన్డ్ లేసింగ్ ఫర్ compression force. Lacing is subjected to compression force, but your batten is subjected to bending moment and shear force. Then I want two formulas kada. So then let me write the formulas based on the code. What is the design shear formula? Design shear formula VB is equal to VT into C by N into S. So this is the design shear formula to design your batten for shear. Next, design moment formula. M is equal to VT into C by 2 into N. ఈ ఫార్ములాస్ రెండు చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్. ఓకే, అండర్స్టూడ్? వై యువర్ బ్యాటన్స్ వాజ్ డిజైన్డ్ ఫర్ షియర్ అండ్ మూమెంట్ అంటే మీకు అర్థమైంది అందరికీ. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద పిక్చర్. సో నౌ సీ ఎవ్రీ పారామీటర్ వన్ బై వన్. వాట్ ఈస్ VT? VT is nothing but 2.5% of the axial force వచ్చేస్తుంది, రైట్? డైరెక్ట్లీ యూ క్యాన్ టేక్ VT as 2.5% of axial force. వాట్ ఈస్ C? C అంటే ఏంటమ్మా? C అంటే వర్టికల్ స్పేసింగ్ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ టూ బ్యాటన్డ్ ప్లేట్స్, అది C అనమాట, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ ఈజ్ N? N అంటే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ప్యారలల్ ప్లేన్స్. N ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ 2. ఎందుకు? ఎన్ని ప్లేన్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ? when your batten is subject to force, this is one plane and this is another plane. Okay, so there will be two planes in your battened plate. So by that N is always 2. Okay, two planes untai. Aim planes avi shear planes. Okay, next yes. What do you mean yes? Yes ante minimum transverse distance between the centroid of the fasteners connecting batten to the main members. Ante సెంట్రాయిడ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాస్ట్నర్స్ కనెక్టింగ్ బ్యాటన్స్ టు ద మెయిన్ మెంబర్స్ అంటే ఏంటమ్మా? చూడండి, మినిమం ట్రాన్స్ఫర్స్ డిస్టెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద సెంట్రాయిడ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫాస్ట్నర్స్ కనెక్టింగ్ బ్యాటన్ టు ద మెయిన్ మెంబర్స్ అంటే ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ వరకు డిస్టెన్స్. దిస్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఆర్ యూ కెన్ పుట్ హియర్ ఆల్సో. దిస్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ ఎస్. క్లియర్? అండర్స్టూడ్? ఎస్ అంటే ఏమన్నారు? మినిమం ట్రాన్స్ఫర్స్ డిస్టెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద సెంట్రాయిడ్ ఆఫ్ ఫాస్ట్నర్ అంటే బోల్ట్ కనెక్టింగ్ బ్యాటన్స్ టు ద మెయిన్ మెంబర్స్ అంటే ఈ సెంటర్ నుంచి ఈ సెంటర్ వరకు. దిస్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ ఎస్. సో లైక్ దట్ యూ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు గెట్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ VT, C, N and S. కమింగ్ టు డిజైన్ మూమెంట్. డిజైన్ మూమెంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు VT, C to N. N and the 2. That is how you can be able to calculate the design shear and design moment. ఓకే, దీస్ ఆర్ ద ఫోర్సెస్ అనమాట. అంటే ఈ బ్యాటన్ మీద యాక్ట్ అవుతున్న డిజైన్ షియర్ ఫోర్స్ ఎంత? VB. డిజైన్ మూమెంట్ ఎంత? M. దిస్ ఈజ్ M అండ్ దిస్ ఈజ్ VB. క్లియర్? నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ ఏంటి? ద ఎఫెక్టివ్ డెప్త్ ఆఫ్ ఎండ్ బ్యాటన్ షల్ నాట్ బీ లెస్ దాన్ ద డిస్టెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద సెంట్రాయిడ్ ఆఫ్ మెయిన్ మెంబర్స్. వాట్ యు మీన్ దట్? నేను ఇక్కడే చూపిస్తానమ్మా, అక్కడ క్లియర్గా లేదు. The effective depth of end batten. Let me draw the end batten. This is the end batten which is connected with the bolts. Okay, can you tell me what is the effective depth? Effective depth ante enti? Idi effective depth. D effective. Ee D effective enta anta? What is the effective depth of end batten? Effective depth of end batten longitudinally shall not be less than distance between the centroid of main members. Ante what is the centroid of main members? See, for this channel section, what is the centroid? This is the centroid. What is the centroid of this C channel section? This is the centroid. Okay, what is this distance? CXX. What is this distance? CXX. Okay, understood? Clear unna andarki? So the effective depth of end batten should not be less than distance between the centroids of main members. Ee distance kanna takku undakodu anta. Ante whatever the effective depth you consider, this depth should not be less than CXX plus B plus CXX కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకూడదు. తక్కువ ఉండకూడదు అంటే ఈక్వల్ ఉండొచ్చా? ఎస్, ఇట్ క్యాన్ బి ఈక్వల్, రైట్? సో ఎఫెక్టివ్ డెప్త్ ఎలా ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాము? సో ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఈక్వల్ టు ఆర్ నాట్ లెస్ దాన్ అంటే ఈక్వల్ టు CXX plus B plus CXX అంటే ఇదన్నమాట. అండర్స్టూడ్? దట్ ఈస్ హౌ యూ నీడ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ ద ఎఫెక్టివ్ డెప్త్. మరి ఓవరాల్ డెప్త్ రావాలి అంటే సార్ ఓవరాల్ డెప్త్ చాలా ఈజీ సార్. ఎఫెక్టివ్ డెప్త్ ప్లస్ edge distance is called overall depth. Clear? This is the overall depth. Okay namma? So this is for end batten. right? Let me draw for intermediate batten. What is the effective depth of intermediate batten? The effective depth of intermediate batten, ఎందుకంటే అన్నీ అక్కడ డ్రా చేయలేను, సో దట్స్ వై ఐఎమ్ డ్రాయింగ్ హియర్. ఇంటర్మీడియట్ బ్యాటన్ యొక్క ఎఫెక్టివ్ డెప్త్. See, both battens are not same. End batten is different, intermediate batten is different. So intermediate batten 3 bolts so connect అయింది అనుకోండి, like this. See, 3 అనే కాదు, ఎన్ని బోల్ట్స్ అయినా కానివ్వండి, the number of bolts you are going to get based on the load. Okay, what is the effective depth of intermediate batten? కోడ్ ఏం చెప్తుందంటే, the effective depth of intermediate batten shall not be less than 3/4 of above value అంట. above value అంటే ఏంటి, ఇది ఓకేనా. D effective of intermediate batten should not be less than 3/4 of the above value. 3/4 of above value అంటే ఈ వాల్యూ CXX plus B plus CXX. ఓకేనా. సో దీనికన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకూడదు, అంటే ఈక్వల్ ఉండొచ్చా? ఎస్, ఇట్ క్యాన్ బి ఈక్వల్. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ హౌ యూ నీడ్ టు ఫిక్స్ ద effective depth of intermediate batten. By adding with edge distances you can going to get the overall depth for the intermediate batten. Clear andarki? Right? Okay, then move on to the thickness. Thickness. What is the thickness? Thickness of battens. So thickness ఎంత ఉండాలి? T should not be less than 1/50th of the distance between the innermost connecting lines of rivets and welds. So your thickness should not be less than 1/50th of the ఈ వాల్యూ అంట. ఏంటి ఆ వాల్యూ? ఎస్. వాట్ యు మీన్ ఎస్? distance from the center of the two fasteners or bolts which is connecting the main members to the batten plates. దీనికన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకూడదు అంట ఇంటూ ఎస్. చూడండి, నేను చెప్పే ప్రతి ఒక్క కండిషన్ కోడ్లో ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, యూ క్యాన్ గో త్రూ దట్. T should not be less than 1/50th of S. S అంటే ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది? సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ బోల్ట్ టు సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ బోల్ట్, అంటే G plus B plus G అక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది అనమాట. సో S క్యాన్ బి రిటన్ యాజ్ G plus B plus G, ఇలా రాయొచ్చు. క్లియర్? రైట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద థిక్నెస్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్యాటన్. ఏదైనా కానివ్వండి, ఎండ్ బ్యాటన్ కానీ ఇంటర్మీడియట్ బ్యాటన్ కానీ, రెండింటి యొక్క థిక్నెసెస్ సేమే. నెక్స్ట్ లాస్ట్ పాయింట్, ఇన్ నో కేస్ ద విడ్త్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాటన్స్ షల్ బి లెస్ దాన్ ట్వైస్ ద విడ్త్ ఆఫ్ వన్ మెంబర్. విడ్త్ అంటే ఏంటి? హియర్ ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ లెంత్ అనమాట. లెంత్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాటన్స్. లెంత్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాటన్స్ అంటే ఏంటమ్మా? ఇది. సో దిస్ లెంత్ ఎంత ఉండాలమ్మా? ఈ లెంత్ కెన్ ఎనీవన్? వాట్ షుడ్ బి ద లెంత్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాటన్స్? either it may be end batten or intermediate batten. Length ఎంత ఉండాలి? Length should not be less than ఎంత చెప్పగలరు ఎవరైనా? B అంటే ఏంటి? width of channel flange. BF ప్లస్ ఈ మధ్యలో డిస్టెన్స్ B ప్లస్ దీని యొక్క విడ్త్ BF, విడ్త్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్లేంజ్. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఓకే, సో ద లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఎండ్ బ్యాటన్ షుడ్ నాట్ బీ లెస్ దాన్ BF అంటే విడ్త్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కాలమ్ ఫ్లేంజ్ ప్లస్ B ప్లస్ విడ్త్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కాలమ్ ఫ్లేంజ్. ద టోటల్ యాడ్ చేస్తే నీకు లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ఎండ్ బ్యాటన్ వస్తుంది. ఈ లెంత్ ఎంతో ఈ లెంత్ కూడా అంతే ఉంటుంది. గాట్ ఇట్? సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ యూ నీడ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్యాటన్. క్లియర్? That's it, Amma. So this is how you are going to calculate you are going to design your batten plates. The length of weld connecting batten plates shall not be less than half the depth of batten. At least 1/3 of the weld shall be placed at each end of the... Okay, right. So that's it. So this is how you have to go with this. ఇంకొక కండిషన్ చెప్తాను. ఇప్పుడు వరకు బోల్డ్ గురించి మాట్లాడాం కదా. If I want to connect with the help of a weld, so there is only one statement straight away. వెల్డ్కి ఇచ్చే కండిషన్ ఏంటంటే, లెట్ మీ రైట్ ద వెల్డింగ్ కండిషన్. వెల్డెడ్ బ్యాటన్ అయితే ఒకటే కండిషన్ స్ట్రైట్ అవే. ఆ కండిషన్ ఏంటంటే, ద లెంత్ ఆఫ్ వెల్డ్ కనెక్టింగ్ batten plates to the column member. Very important statement, very important for competition bit. The length of weld connecting batten plates to the column member shall not be less than half the depth of the batten plate. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇక డి అంటే ఏంటమ్మా? డెప్త్, రైట్? మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే వెల్డింగ్ చేస్తారు, వెల్డింగ్ ఎక్కడ చేస్తారు? బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్కి. యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ వెల్డింగ్ హియర్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద పోర్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద వెల్డింగ్ వేర్ యూ డూ బ్యాటన్ వెల్డింగ్. ఇక్కడ చేస్తారు వెల్డింగ్, అవునా? సో ద లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద వెల్డింగ్ ఏదైతే మీరు చేస్తారో, మేక్ షూర్ దట్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద వెల్డ్ షుడ్ నాట్ బీ లెస్ దాన్ 1/2, అంటే హాఫ్ ద డెప్త్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్. బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్ యొక్క డెప్త్ కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకుండా చూసుకోండి. హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద డెప్త్ కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకుండా ఉండాలి నీ వెల్డింగ్. ఓకే, అట్లీస్ట్ ఇంకో పాయింట్ కూడా చెప్తుంది కోడ్. ఏం చెప్తుంది? అట్లీస్ట్ 1/3 ఆఫ్ ద వెల్డ్ షెల్ బి ప్లేస్డ్ అట్ ఈచ్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎడ్జ్. 1/3 ఆఫ్ ద హైట్ ఈజ్ టు బి welded at each end of this edge అని చెప్తుంది కోడ్. ఓకేనా? అంతే. హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద డెప్త్ కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకుండా చూసుకోండి. ఆర్ ఎల్స్ యూ క్యాన్ ప్రొవైడ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 1/3 ఆఫ్ ద హైట్ ఈజ్ టు బి వెల్డెడ్ అట్ ఈచ్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎడ్జ్. కంపల్సరీ 1/3 అన్న కంపల్సరీ మీరు వెల్డింగ్ చేయాలి వెన్ యూ ప్రొవైడ్ యువర్ బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్స్. సో ఇన్ ప్రాక్టికల్ వాట్ దే డూ, హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద మినిమమ్ డెప్త్ చేయాలి కదా, వాళ్ళు అలా తీసుకోరు. వాట్ దే డూ, దే విల్ స్ట్రైట్ అవే డూ వెల్డింగ్ ఫర్ ద హోల్ లెంత్. మొత్తం వెల్డింగ్ చేసేస్తారనమాట. సో లైక్ దిస్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ప్రాక్టికల్లీ ద వేర్ యూ సీ ద వెల్డింగ్ ఇన్ ద బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్స్, బోల్ట్ అయితే ఇక్కడ బోల్టింగ్ చేస్తారు, వెల్డింగ్ అయితే. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద పోర్షన్ వేర్ దే డూ వెల్డింగ్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద పోర్షన్ వేర్ దే డూ వెల్డింగ్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ డెప్త్ ఎంతైతే ఉంటుందో దానిలో హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద డెప్త్ మినిమం వెల్డింగ్ చేయాలి, లేకపోతే అట్లీస్ట్ 1/3 ఆఫ్ ద డెప్త్ అన్న వెల్డింగ్ చేయాలి కంపల్సరీ. కానీ ప్రాక్టికల్ ఇన్ రియల్ అప్లికేషన్స్ వాట్ దే డూ, దే విల్ డూ కంప్లీట్ వెల్డింగ్. ఇక్కడ కంప్లీట్ వెల్డింగ్ చేస్తారు. ఈవెన్ హియర్ ఆల్సో దే డూ వెల్డింగ్, ఈవెన్ ఎట్ దిస్ సర్ఫేస్ ఆల్సో దే డూ వెల్డింగ్. ఓకే, అలా టోటల్ సర్కంఫరెన్స్కి వెల్డింగ్ చేసేస్తారనమాట ఫర్ బెటర్ జాయింట్. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ battens are going to be designed for bolting and welding like this. Clear? Width of two main members. Width of two main members ante ide. Praval, you are answering my question or you are putting any question? Width of two main members ante ide. ఈ టూ మెయిన్ మెంబర్స్ యొక్క విడ్త్. ఇది బిఎఫ్, ఇది బిఎఫ్ కదా, రైట్? ఈ రెండు బిఎఫ్స్ ఈ బి లేకుండా ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, సో అప్పుడు ఏంటి, 2 times ఆఫ్ బిఎఫ్స్ కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకుండా చూసుకోవాలన్నమాట ఇది. ఓకే, సో బెటర్ యూ క్యాన్ గో విత్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాటన్ యాజ్ నువ్వు అన్నట్టు ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ కూడా రాయొచ్చు. లెంత్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి లెస్ దాన్ 2 times ఆఫ్ ద బిఎఫ్ అని కూడా రాయొచ్చు. సో దిస్ వీఆర్ ప్రొవైడింగ్, ఈ విధంగా మనం ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాము. బట్ వాట్ కోడ్ ఈజ్ రికమెండింగ్? కోడ్ ఈజ్ టెల్లింగ్ దిస్: your length of the batten plate should not be less than twice the width of the column flange. అంటే ఈ కాలమ్ ఫ్లేంజ్ యొక్క విడ్త్, ఈ కాలమ్ ఫ్లేంజ్ యొక్క విడ్త్ ట్వైస్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఎంతైతే డిస్టెన్స్ ఉంటుందో దానికన్నా తక్కువ ఉండకుండా ఉండాలి. ఓకే, బెటర్ యూ క్యాన్ ప్రొవైడ్ దిస్ విడ్త్ ప్లస్ డిస్టెన్స్ ప్లస్ విడ్త్, మొత్తం ఓవరాల్ కూడా మీరు ప్రొవైడ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, సో దిస్ విడ్త్ అండ్ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ డిస్టెన్స్ అండ్ విడ్త్, ఓవరాల్ లెంత్ కూడా మీరు ప్రొవైడ్ చేయొచ్చు. బెటర్ ఇట్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి లెస్ దాన్ 2 times ఆఫ్ ద విడ్త్ ఆఫ్ ద కాలమ్ ఫ్లేంజెస్. బిఎఫ్ కన్నా ఉండకూడదు. ఇది కోడ్ చెప్తుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, ఈవెన్ కాంపిటేటివ్ బిట్ అమ్మ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇది, రైట్? క్లియర్? సో ఐ థింక్ ఐ హ్యావ్ డన్ మై డ్యూటీ ఇన్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్ యూ బెటర్ ఆన్ బ్యాటన్ ప్లేట్స్, ఐ మీన్ బ్యాటన్ డిజైన్. అందరికి అర్థమైందా? ఓహో, యూ ఆన్సర్డా? ఓకే, యాక్చువల్లీ ఐ ఆన్సర్డ్ సార్, బట్ నెట్ ఈస్ స్లో. ఇట్స్ ఓకే అమ్మ. సో యాజ్ యూ ఆన్సర్డ్, it is very good amma, but that is the reason why I wrote formula again. Your length should not be less than twice the width of the column flanges, okay, which is 2 times of b. Kanna takku undakodu. This we are providing, okay, right? Clear? చూడమ్మా, ఈ రెండు కంప్లీట్ డిజైన్ స్టెప్స్ అనమాట. డిజైన్ స్టెప్స్ ఏ విధంగా రాశాను, ఐ విల్ షేర్ ద నోట్స్ ఆల్సో, రైట్? సో ఐ థింక్ ఐ హ్యావ్ డన్ టుడే. I thought to start splicing, but you know, I took much time in explaining this lacing and batten. Why? Because you know, when we are deep into the subject, we never see the time. So as I said, lacing and batten is one of the important column design, so which you usually see in the real applications. Me railway stations ki velte ade untundi, bridges ki, steel bridges ki velte kuda ee lacing concept e vastundi, right? So that's why it is very very important, right? So in that way, I think we took enough time to discuss on this lacing, I mean batten concepts, right? So anyone have any doubts, you can ask me. ఎవరికైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయమ్మా? క్లియర్? కాన్సెప్ట్ క్లియర్గా ఉందా? పవన్ కళ్యాణ్, ఎస్ సార్, ఆల్మోస్ట్ అండర్స్టూడా? వై ఆల్మోస్ట్, నాట్ 100%? See, definitely first time it will be like this. I think, see, మీరు ఒక్కసారి ఆలోచించండి. No textbook, no NPTEL videos or no material will explain like this. నేనేదో గొప్ప అని నేను చెప్పట్లేదు. I think we did well only based on your support. ఇప్పుడు మీరు అంత బాగా వింటున్నారు కాబట్టి నేను ఇంత క్లియర్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయగలిగాను. See, let's see in class. I think I can't explain in class like this. ఇంత ఫ్రీగా, ఇంత టైం స్పెండ్ చేసి నేను ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ని ఇంత ఫ్రీగా నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయలేకపోవచ్చు. బట్ యు నో, హియర్ వీ వాజ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్డ్ ఎవ్రీ డిజైన్ స్టెప్ విత్ సమ్ పిక్చర్స్. చూడండి, ప్రతి డిజైన్ స్టెప్ ఒక పిక్చరే, లైక్ దిస్, ఇన్ దిస్ వే, ఇన్ దిస్ వే. సో ఐ థింక్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద బెటర్ నోట్స్ విచ్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఇన్ ద డిజైన్ ఆఫ్ battened column, right? So we have done well, and yeah, you can question me. So I think we have done it today. Let me give a question to you guys today. So let us answer for this question, and we will wind up today's session, okay? In between, you can think for any questions to ask, please guys. Please go through the concepts again, and you can question me, okay? We'll clear some doubts over here. See, doubts అడగాలమ్మా. డౌట్స్ అడగకపోతే I don't know whether you understood or not. Thank you, Praveen. What about others? I want a response from everyone, guys. Please question me. Please go through the concepts. If you have any doubts, you can put question right here. So this is the discussion time. So we can discuss many things. So in between, let me put a question. Rajita madam, is this fine? Madam, explanation anta fine? So have you understood how to design the laced column and how to design the batterned column? Because ma'am is one of the faculty, because I want whether ma'am understood or not. Students came on the మనం ఏం చెప్పినా అర్థమవుతాయి. So I think faculty should tell this whether this explanation was right way to the students or not. So today's question, so which was asked in GATE 1995. GATE 1995 లో అడిగారు మీ క్వశ్చన్. The maximum allowable compressive stress corresponding to lateral buckling in a discretely laterally supported symmetrical I-beam does not depend upon దేని మీద డిపెండ్ అవ్వదు. ఓకే, సో యువర్ ఆప్షన్స్: A, modulus of elasticity; option B, the radius of gyration; about the minor axis. See, in every section, x is the major axis and y is the minor axis. Okay, the span by length of the beam. D, the ratio of overall depth to thickness of the flange. Please try to answer this, guys. Very important. This was asked in the year 1995 in GATE. The maximum allowable compressive stress corresponding to lateral buckling in a discretely laterally supported symmetrical I-beam. Ante whatever the column which you chose in a form of an I section, which we called as an I-beam, which is a laterally supported column అనుకోండి, right, does not depends upon ఈ 4 ఫ్యాక్టర్స్లో దేని మీద నీ కాలమ్ యొక్క lateral buckling డిపెండ్ అవ్వదు. The maximum allowable compressive stress corresponding to lateral buckling in your I-beam, which is a laterally supported I-beam, does not depends on which condition. ఇచ్చిన 4 కండిషన్స్లో ఏ కండిషన్ మీద డిపెండ్ అవ్వదు. Modulus of elasticity. Yes.